Hi, Martin here with another video, and today we're going to be talking about OneNote, more specifically how you as a complete beginner can get started with OneNote. I'm going to go through what OneNote is, what it's used for, the different versions, and then we'll take a look at the interface and then adding some basic content. So let's get started. So first and foremost, what is OneNote? Well, OneNote, if we head to Microsoft's actual website, it's a digital note-taking app created by Microsoft. So in their own words, essentially notes are easy to organize, print and share, and you can search and find important information quickly. So even if you forget where you've originally captured it, best of all, your notebooks are stored online so you can easily get to them on any of your mobile devices. Now that may sound like a whole host of jargon, but essentially it allows you to take notes, organize them, have multiple notebooks, and most usefully, access them from any of your devices. So what might you use OneNote for? Well, it's used in a few different scenarios. So think about just purely as an individual. So I'll use OneNote for things like a to-do list. So I'll write out my to-do list maybe on my laptop, and then when I'm out and about, I can access that on my phone. I can think, oh, I need to add that to my to-do list, and I can do that there, and it will get synced up across my devices. Schools use OneNote quite heavily, so it's used to deliver content and resources to students. So rather than giving them physical books, it's all organized in a OneNote notebook. And then in business, they may use it as a platform to organize information such as agendas, meeting notes, and documents of that nature. So how do you actually go about accessing OneNote? Now, there are a number of different OneNote versions. So there's OneNote Online, OneNote for Mac, OneNote for Windows, OneNote for iPhone, iPad, and then OneNote for Android. Now, obviously, dependent on what device you're on, that's the version of OneNote that you're going to download. But no matter which version you're on, the information that I'll go through today should all be similar. I'll be using the online version, but the layout should be the same whether you're using the Mac or the Windows version, and even on the mobile versions, it's very similar. So to access the online version, all you'll simply need to do is head to onenote.com, sign up with your Microsoft account. So if you don't have an Outlook email or anything like that, you may need to sign up for that first. But once you're signed up, you can head to onenote.com, sign in, and then you'll end up here on OneNote. It's very straightforward. If you just Google OneNote sign up, you'll be taken through the whole process, and it's very straightforward. So here I have a basic OneNote notebook. So the first thing that we're going to do is just stop and take a look at the interface. So remember that OneNote, the whole point of it is that it's a digital notebook. So the first thing we have up here is this is the notebook. So I can click on here to open up different notebooks I have, add a new notebook, create a new notebook on here. So this is the book that I am in. Next, we then have sections. Okay, so a section, if you can almost think of it like a chapter in a book or a divider in a filing cabinet. So the next part that we have are pages. So we can see here that I've got one untitled page. So I have my pages that go inside my section that go inside my notebook. Okay, so now we've taken a look at the interface of OneNote. Let's go ahead and look at how we can add sections, pages, and then actually add some content to our OneNote pages. So we'll start over here in the section column, and we're going to add a new section. So we're going to go all the way down here to the bottom left, and we're going to click Add Section. It's going to give us this pop-up to give the section a name. So I'm going to call mine Class 1 and press OK. So you'll see by default it's been given a color of yellow. If you want to change that, you can right-click or secondary click, click Section Color, and then change the color in there. So again, if you think of these as dividers in a physical file, that metaphor kind of helps to understand how OneNote is organizing your digital notebook. And adding different colors can obviously make it nice and clear to yourself or students or colleagues that they are different sections. So within each section, you're given a default untitled page. In order to change that title, we actually go onto the page itself where we have this underline, and we give it a title in here, and that will change the title over here in the Pages pane as well. So let's go ahead and add another page. So we're going to go back to the bottom next to Add Section and click Add Page. So it's added another untitled page here. I'm going to go over and give it a title called Class Work. Now what I'm going to do with Class Work is I'm going to go over to this page pane. I'm going to right or secondary click, and I'm going to go Make Subpage. So you can see what that's done is that's moved it over to the right hand side and nested it with inside Student 1. So it's a good way of being able to organize your pages. And if you're on one of the desktop versions, so Windows or Mac, then you'll be able to have a little arrow here that will let you minimize and hide all the subpages, or maximize and show all the subpages. So again, another great way of organizing all of your files. So if we go over to one of the pages, there is a number of different ways that you can add content to it. Obviously, first and foremost, you can add some text. Okay, so click and type. The one thing with OneNote though is it's different to say a Word document in that you can click anywhere on the page and start typing. So, and then from here, you can see it's in a box. I can click on this move and I can move this text wherever I want. So your OneNote pages don't have to just be top to bottom adding content that way. It's more dynamic in that you can add that text or content wherever you may like, okay? Obviously, once you've done that, you can do your normal formatting up here in this bar, similar to what you would have seen in things like Word. So we can change the size, and we can change the color, we can make it bold, we can change the font, and so on and so forth, okay? So adding text, really, really nice and simple. So what we can also do on OneNote is add videos, and we can add videos quite easily. So I've got a YouTube clip over here. Now, if I want to add that to my OneNote page, I simply go up to the URL, and from here I copy it back to OneNote, and then from here I paste. What that will do is put the URL in, and then if I hit return or enter, you can see I now have that video, okay, inside of my OneNote, and I can just play it directly inside. So I don't need my colleagues, students, myself to go to any other page, go to YouTube, those sorts of things. They can just start looking at that directly in OneNote. So again, really, really useful. So we know how to add text, we know how to add videos, so let's look at how we can add an image to OneNote. So I've got an image saved down here in my downloads folder. I'm simply going to drag, and you'll see the little green plus icon, and then let go, and then that will be added to my OneNote. And again, same as the text, that can be moved and put wherever you would like on your OneNote page. So the last thing I'll show you is how we can attach files to our OneNote pages. So I'll head over to this blank page here, and then I've got Insert File, and I can go Insert File Attachment. I can select this PDF, go to Open, and then what that will do is that will attach a copy of my PDF to my OneNote page that either myself or other people using the OneNote will be able to double click, and they'll be able to access that file. You do, however, have another option when it comes to adding files to OneNote. So if I go to File again, and then Insert File Printout and select the same PDF, okay, it will kind of look like it's going through the same process, but what's actually happening is it is kind of creating images and embedding that document inside of the OneNote page. So as opposed to having a file that users need to click on, they'll be able to view it directly on the page. So now you can see, instead of just having an attachment, we have that document embedded in our OneNote, which means, again, anyone viewing doesn't have to open up a separate document, go to another piece of software. They can just view it directly in OneNote. And there you have it. That's the basics of OneNote. I really hope that it has been useful for you. If it has, please give this video a like, comment below, and subscribe for more tech tips. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.